Hello and welcome back to Rimworld and the Chronicles of Rimmick, Episode 3. Last we left off, Rimmick was being chased down by the first mercenary to raid the camp. She's able to duck inside to tend and feed her patient, Skye, who is narrowly fending off the infection in her right leg. Rimmick has made a rather rushed decision to preserve her medicine, believing that Skye will pull through, while the raiding mercenary beats on the door. Seeing the opportunity to take a shot at the assailant, Rimmick heads outside. The raider doesn't even notice her, allowing her to get in position for a shot. And here we can see the downside of the Pila. It takes a long time to charge up and a long time to cool down, meaning you can't get away to take another shot. With a fair number of cracks and bruises, Rimmick manages to down the attacker, and immediately goes for the cloth parka. Her would-be assassin suddenly stands up and tries to leave the map, but Rimmick can't allow that. She scores her first ever hit with the Pila and moves in to finish them off. Rimmick starts to tend her wounds, but is suddenly having a crisis of mood. She's desperately hungry and hasn't had any downtime in quite a while. No sooner do we deal with one raid than a second merc shows up. This will be due to the raid every 5 days from our customized scenario settings, the other one being from Cassandra. We really ought to have finished our trap setup, but alas. As it turns out, this merc would be a perfect addition to our colony, being fast walker, ascetic, and double passion intellect. But dealing with a captive pirate at this point in the game is something we're just not ready for yet. The other thing is that we have a trade caravan arriving. The raider isn't attacking right away, but let's wait and see how this plays out. Just as the caravan arrives, Sky's infection becomes extreme, but still can't be tended right now. The raider announces their approach. They're in for a big surprise. Rimmick trades in everything she can, including her pila and the last of her silver, for a good revolver. Due to an impending mental break, Rimmick decides to quickly rebuild the hoopstone ring, just as her visitors spot the approaching intruder. And to no one's surprise, the well-armed caravan takes them out easily. With a sigh of relief, Rimmick continues to tend to their mood and is no longer in danger of a minor break. Rimmick juggles her main weapon and sidearms to save a trip hauling the club. To Rimmick's total surprise, Sky suddenly succumbs to her infection and is no more. If only she hadn't spared her medicine, maybe she'd still be alive. Rimmick smells another snow hare to the north and wastes no time. Just as she heads out, a large group of migrating rats heads north as well. Moments later, a pod crashes nearby. Unbelievably, with 2 missed punches, her prey gets away. This crash-landed potter is from Sue Pact, a faction that Rimmick thinks may be swayable, but right now is out to kill her. Besides which, they don't seem very promising. She carves off another chunk of wolf meat before going to search the potter for any valuables. Having hunted squirrels before, Rimmick decides the rats just aren't worth the time. They run through the map rather quickly and are very hard to hit. Rimmick finds a much warmer synthread parka and some clothes that are really only good for trade. Solemnly, and with grief in her heart, Rimmick buries her would-be friend under the ice and snow. Then, for reasons known only to her, Rimmick decides to build a decapitated snowman. She finishes off the last chunk of wolf carcass and heads to bed. She heads again to the north to finish dismantling some steel ruins there. Another rest for our hard-working hero. Rimmick continues to gather more steel from nearby ruins to finish critical defenses that are still incomplete. Ravenously hungry and with a bit of good mood to spare, she partakes in her first act of cannibalism. A pair of friendly travelers are just passing by. Finally, on her third attempt, she's able to enclose the hoopstone ring by finishing the door. The stool she constructed earlier was only of poor quality, but will do just fine for now. The important thing is that she can now sit at a table to eat and relax in solitude. As the sun sets over an icy horizon, we'll say goodnight to Rimmick for today. If you enjoyed this episode in the Chronicles of Rimmick, feel free to click the like button. And if you'd like to see more, of course, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.